Welcome back, Stock Show Nation. We are here today with Valeria Howard Cunningham. And Valeria is one of the leaders and producers of the MLK Day Rodeo, along with my staff leader, a gentleman named Leon Vick, who heads up the rodeo operations here for the National Western. Valeria, thanks so much for being here with us today.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for having me.
You bet. We're going to try to educate the stock show crowd here on the MLK Rodeo, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're one of only 2 rodeos in the country that are doing an MLK Rodeo. And I think that this one started in 2006, which was our 100th anniversary year. So
that is correct.
Yeah, so what does it mean to you to celebrate the memory of Dr. King at the MLK Rodeo at the National Western every January?
Well, that's a great question, and thank you for asking that. We were honored to be asked back in 2006 to be part of your 100th year anniversary. And it was more of an honor to be celebrating the rodeo on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. It clearly gave us, both of us, an opportunity to recognize Dr. King's accomplishments, his dream, and the work that he did for racial and economic equality. I think one of the most significant things was that the National Western felt important, that it was important enough, I should say, that we do a rodeo to celebrate Dr. King, and it showed that the National Western believed that there should be inclusion. And so my hat off to the National Western for doing that.
Yeah, the great leaders at that time, Pat Grant, certainly the president and CEO, and the leadership of the board, I know it was just reading my history. It was very important to them, along with the Mexican Rodeo Extravaganza, to show the diversity and the embracing diversity that the National Western Stock Show has. And I'm glad you pointed that out. That was outstanding. So that when we think about the MLK Rodeo format, Valeria, it's a bit different than a traditional rodeo. There's some really interesting events that are going on. So tell us and the fans a little more about kind of what that rodeo looks like and some of the unique events.
Well, yes, we are different. The Martin Luther King Rodeo, you know, it's an offspring of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, which is an African-American touring rodeo around the United States, and it's been in existence for 36 years. And obviously, when we created the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, we wanted it to be different. We wanted it to truly represent the community. So the MLK, being an offspring of that, had to be different, right? So we look at 3 components. We want to make sure that we do a rodeo. So our event, MLK Rodeo, has the same rodeo events that the other rodeos have. We have bareback, tie-down roping, steer wrestling, ladies barrel racing, and bull riding. But we added an additional ladies event called Ladies Steer Undecorating. And we also include events for our children, the kids who are going to grow up and be our future rodeo stars. We have junior barrel racing and breakaway for them. So that was the first component. The second component was to make sure we have an educational part that we expose the community to. And educational in the sense that we are sharing with people the roles of African Americans in the development of the West. So we do a skit or presentation on the front end of the rodeo, educating people about different things such as Nat Love or the Pony Express. So that's a way for us to include the educational component. The third part was to make sure we have a very entertaining component. So we play music that our community is familiar with. We also include the Black National Anthem. So at the end of the day, we really want to be different, and we want the audience to walk away and say that they've had a Black experience with rodeo.
Well, I think, you know, folks, you can tell how organized Valeria is with this rodeo. I mean, the deep thought that went into what she just told us all here just shows you the type of passion she has for both the rodeo itself and Dr. King and the entire community. So my hat's off to you, obviously, on that, Valeria. So when you think about some of the challenges that you face when organizing a rodeo like this, you're working with my staff, and there's just a lot that goes into us. Tell us what some of those are and how you kind of overcome all that.
Well, you know, no matter what you do in life, there are challenges. And working with your staff, the National Western, I'm going to say yes, there were challenges. But what I find is it is important for us to understand what you were looking for, what we were looking for, and finding a way to bring balance to that, that we understand and respect each other's perspectives. And we were able to do that. And I think as a result of that, we have had a phenomenal event over the last, 14 years?
Yeah, right.
So challenges are not obstacles to me. They are just an opportunity for you to get better. And I think we have to push each other a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of what you want. You're not going to get everything. And I'm going to get a little bit of what I want, but I'm not going to get everything. But at the end of the day, can we deliver something that is first class, that the audience and the community benefits from? Right.
No, I think, listen, you and Leon work tremendous together, and there is a little bit of push and pull there, and I think that makes the rodeo even better. Frankly.
I agree.
So thinking through that, some of the events that happened during the rodeo, name us something that started with the African-American cowboy that maybe is in your current event that's really unique to that.
Well, I don't know if it's unique, but I will say we have the steer wrestling or bulldogging event, which was invented by Bill Pickett. And Bill Pickett was an African-American rancher, then cowboy. And that is one of the reasons why we named our rodeo after Bill Pickett. It was important. You know, when I talk to people, and when my deceased husband, Lou Vasson, who started the Bill Pickett Rodeo, I talked to people, they didn't know who Bill Pickett was. So we thought it was an opportune time to, once again, educate the community about that. So every rodeo association does the bulldogging event. That was invented by Bill Pickett. So we include it and we do it. Sometimes we include an exhibition by a cowboy that can actually do what Bill Pickett did when he started the event, which was jump off the horse and catch the steer on the lip and bite the steer's lip to make the steer turn over. So, you know, not many people can do that. So the event actually changed where the cowboys actually jump off the horse and grab the steer to turn it over. So
right, it evolved a little bit there. That's fascinating. That's fascinating.
It is, and I think it is that event that every rodeo association includes that celebrates Bill Pickett. So we're very proud to include that also.
Yeah. Well, Valeria mentioned Lou Vasson, her now deceased husband. God rest his soul. What a great man. We all are better for knowing Lou Vasson. happened to run into him across many years ago when I was in the concert business a little bit more, and Lou was in the concert business.
Absolutely.
So really enjoyed getting to know him, and obviously you have taken over and done just a tremendous job. So when we think about some of the most famous black cowboys that have ever competed, either here at the National Western or at the MLK Rodeo, what names come to mind there?
Ooh, let me pull out the memory there.
I mean, I think of Corey Solomon being, I mean,
absolutely.
just a
Corey
fantastic
Solomon actually started with the Bill Pickett Rodeo.
Yeah.
And Corey has gone on to become a very popular and famous cowboy in other rodeo associations. He's currently performing.
He is. He has made the National Finals Rodeo, and I mean, that is, you got to be the top of the top, and obviously what a great athlete. So
absolutely. And another one is Fred Whitfield.
Fred, great.
Oh my God. We all know Fred Whitfield.
Right.
You know, Fred once again started with the Bill Pickett Rodeo, left and went to the PRCA, and actually went to the NFR a number of times. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Fred is a 7-time world champion in calf roping. We have Ronnie Fields. We have Neil Holmes, the bull rider.
Yeah.
He's gone on to participate in all the PRCA rodeos and some of their championships. And Darnell Tipton.
You bet.
So
another great name.
Now, we've talked about all the cowboys, but there are a couple cowgirls, and see, I will not let us forget the cowgirls.
Yeah, don't. Please share.
There are a couple cowgirls that compete with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, is at every MLK Rodeo. Kanisha Jackson, and she's gone on to compete with the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. Brittany Walton, and Michaela Neely, just to name a few. So we feel very privileged to have these cowboys and cowgirls that are now famous in the rodeo world to be part of our community and to participate in the MLK Rodeo.
Yeah, tremendous athletes, each and every one of them. I will tell you, Fred Whitfield, I watched him basically scare every other roper out of the event one year at the National Western Stock Show. And when they saw him, that he was in their draw, everybody else was frozen. I mean, it was unbelievable the amount of respect he has in the community and the fear he kind of evokes in people that, uh-oh, we're going to really have to have an amazing run today to win this rodeo because Fred's in our rodeo.
Absolutely.
You know? So when you think of the kind of, maybe my last question I'll ask you is you think about memories of the National Western Stock Show. And, you know, you've been here for just many years of your life, as I have. What are some of your most prized memories, either about Stock Show or about the MLK Rodeo? What comes to mind?
There are lots of memories, excellent memories. But the thing that warms my heart is when you see the community just come together. I mean, you see people in wheelchairs, people on walkers, people that just want to be part of the experience and to have the experience. And you look at the audience and see how they are responding. Those are memories that you just will always remember. And especially the little kids, seeing them come in and hearing the comments such as, oh my God, there are black cowboys. You know, that is so emotional for me because it says we're doing something good. We are giving kids hope. We are showing them that they can be cowboys and cowgirls if they want to be. So, you know, while I don't identify any one thing, it's more emotional based on the impact that we share with the community.
No, that's special. Thank you for sharing that. And I tell you, folks, the diversity, the inclusion of Denver as a city, as well as the National Western Stock Show with our partners like Valeria, we are just overjoyed to be one of the only cities in the entire country doing an MLK rodeo. It's going to go on forever, and it grows bigger every year, and large part due to the lady sitting to my left. Thank you again, Miss Valeria Howard Cunningham, for being here today with us and sharing with Stock Show Nation.
Thank you so much, and it is my pleasure.